So the primary form of Middle Eastern modernist poetry, poets, for the most part, are calling the poems that they're writing that are modernist or new qasidas. A qasida is an ode. Now, the ode, the qasida tradition in Arabic goes back to the pre-Islamic period, an oral tradition that was then written down later. So the provenance is a little bit difficult to work with, but we're going back at least to the 6th century, maybe even earlier. The ode was a mono-rhymed, single-metered poem that goes from anywhere between 50 and 200 lines. So imagine that, writing a poem of 200 lines with the same rhyme at the end and repeating a rhyme word. It's a poetic defect. So you need 200 words. That's the standard from which all other Arabic poetry derives. After the Arabs and the Islamic conquest take over Iran, it's the same case with Persian. Persian, which had been Middle Persian, emerges as New Persian, which is a language inundated with Arabic vocabulary. Something like 70% of New Persian is Arabic vocabulary, but it's based in Persian grammar. Persian also sets the qasida, ode, as the standard. And then other forms are derived from it later on, like the ghazal, love poem, the qita, this is an Arabic term, but the fragment, couple of lines of poetry. There are some folk forms that persist and maybe have roots that go outside of Arabic, but it's the qasida that stands at the center of all of this. And the modernist poets recognize this, and they call what they are writing qasaid, but they are not sticking to the monorhyme, and they are changing up how the feet of the meters work. So they do stick to a single meter still. In most cases, there are some instances where they don't, but this is highly experimental. But the lines are not the same length. So if you look at an old qasida, it looks like this. It's got 2 hemisticks. Hemistick means half of a line. There's 2. In the first line, you have a rhyme and a rhyme. And then all the rest of the poem, the lines are the same length with the rhyme at the end. A modernist poem is going to look like this. Maybe a short one again, maybe a long one. Maybe there's a rhyme here, and then an internal rhyme, A, but it's not the end of the line, and then here is a B, C, D, D, back to A. Maybe it repeats, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's like a sonnet, maybe it doesn't. There's a lot more opportunity to move things around. This is why they call it sher hor in Arabic, free verse, which in the Persian case, they call either sher nimai, Nemaic poetry, after Nima Yushish, who started doing this, is the most famous person for writing like this in the earliest period, or simply sher no, new poetry. And what's new about it? It doesn't look like the old qasida.